Hi, I'm Ben. I'm here to learn English.
And I'm Emma. I'm here to help.
Let's learn together.
Let's learn together. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to our English podcast. I'm Emma.
And I'm Ben. Today, we're going to talk about history, a topic that can be really interesting and also useful for IELTS speaking practice.
Yes, history isn't just about old events. It's about understanding people, cultures, and how the world became what it is today. And since we're focusing on IELTS, we'll go through common questions and give some strong answers.
Great. Let's start with an easy one. Do you like history?
I would say yes. I enjoy learning about history because it helps me understand why things are the way they are today. For example, I like reading about ancient civilizations and how they lived. In IELTS, giving a reason like this is very important.
I like history too, especially modern history. I enjoy learning about events from the last 100 years like world wars or technological developments. Giving specific examples makes your answers stronger.
The next question is, do you think history is important?
Absolutely. History is important because it teaches us lessons. For example, by studying past mistakes, we can try not to repeat them. It also helps us understand different cultures and traditions.
I agree. Knowing history also makes us appreciate the present. For instance, learning about struggles for freedom or social changes gives me perspective on current events. This is a good IELTS answer because it shows reasoning and examples.
Next question. What kind of history do you like?
I like cultural history the most. I enjoy learning about traditions, arts, and how societies developed over time. It's fascinating to see how different people lived in the past.
I prefer political and military history. I find it interesting to see how decisions, leaders, or conflicts shaped countries. Giving specific types of history makes your answer personal and detailed.
Next, who do you usually learn history from?
Usually from books or documentaries. I also sometimes attend lectures or museums when I have the chance.
I usually learn from school lessons and then from online resources. Podcasts like this are also a fun way to learn history in small, interesting pieces.
Next, when did you start learning history?
I started learning history in primary school, but I became really interested in it in high school when we studied world history. That's when I realized it could be very exciting.
Same here. I remember learning about ancient Rome and Egypt when I was a teenager. Those stories were really exciting and made me curious to learn more.
Next, do you enjoy visiting historical sites?
Yes, I love it. Visiting historical sites makes history feel real. For example, visiting castles or old towns gives you a sense of what life was like hundreds of years ago.
Me too. When I visited ancient temples, I could imagine the people living there, which was really inspiring. This answer works well because it shows personal experience.
Which historical period do you like the most?
I really liked the Renaissance period. It was a time of great art, science, and cultural change. I enjoy learning about the famous artists and scientists from that time.
I prefer the 20th century because it's more recent and the events are easier to relate to. Wars, inventions, and social movements all changed the world rapidly.
Do you like reading history books?
Sometimes. I prefer illustrated history books or stories that explain events in a narrative style. Pure textbook history can be a bit dry.
I agree. I like books that tell stories about people in history, rather than just dates and facts. This makes learning more engaging.
Do you prefer history lessons in school or learning history by yourself?
I prefer learning by myself because I can choose what I'm interested in. For example, I can focus on a specific country or period.
I like both. Lessons give structure, but learning alone allows me to go deeper and explore topics that really interest me.
Next question, do you think children should learn history?
Yes, definitely. Learning history helps children understand the world and develop critical thinking. Even simple stories from the past can teach important lessons.
I agree. History also helps children learn about their own culture and heritage, which is important for identity.
Do you think people today are interested in history?
Some people are, but many are not. I think technology and social media have made people focus more on the present, but documentaries and history shows are still popular.
I agree. It depends on the person. History can be very interesting if it's presented in a fun or relatable way.
How can people learn history in a fun way?
Visiting museums, watching movies or documentaries, and even playing historical games can make learning history fun. Storytelling is key.
I also like podcasts and historical novels. They turn facts into engaging stories. This is a great IELTS answer because it gives ideas and examples.
Do you think it's necessary to memorize dates in history?
Not always. I think understanding events and their causes is more important than just memorizing dates. Of course, knowing a few key dates is helpful.
I agree. Understanding history means knowing the story behind events. Dates are secondary, but useful for context.
Would you like to learn more about history in the future?
Yes, definitely. There's always more to discover, especially about other countries and cultures.
Me too. I feel like learning history is a lifelong process. There's always something new or surprising to learn.
So, to summarize, history is a rich IELTS topic because you can talk about personal interests, experiences, opinions, and give examples.
Exactly. Remember, in IELTS, giving reasons and examples makes your answers natural and high-scoring. Even simple sentences become strong if you explain and add details.
That's right. And don't forget, personal stories and experiences make your answers more interesting for the examiner.
Thanks for listening, everyone. We hope this discussion helps you prepare for IELTS speaking questions about history.
See you next time for another interesting topic. Keep learning and exploring.
Bye!
Bye.